I fell into a hole. A rabbit hole, that is. And, well, what a coincidence. Whenever you're doing something probably extreme, like falling into a hole, for example, diving or going, I don't know, exploring caves, then action cameras are the perfect camera for that. I've been playing around and testing out different action cameras for the past couple of months. In reality, action cameras are really good utility cameras. They are good cameras for when you want to show yourself, you want to document yourself while you're doing something, and that includes photography, or you want to show your perspective, and that can also include photography. So forgive me, I'm not a diver. I don't really hike the way extreme hikers do, but I do photography, and action cameras have been helping me out in showing my perspective, or showing at least the things that I do and the things that I have to go through in order to get the shots that I want to take. So for this video, let's talk about helpful accessories for your action camera. Now, before that, if you haven't seen my past videos, let's talk about the action cameras I've been playing around with. I've been testing out both Insta360 and DJI cameras. However, it has been kind of a preference for me to use the Insta360 because I really got used to using the Insta360 X5. And full transparency, this is not an action camera review, and admittedly, I've never touched a GoPro in my life. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just don't really know much about GoPros, so I can't really say much about the compatibility of these accessories. However, it's pretty understandable that GoPros are kind of the ones that set the mounting solutions for action cameras, so a lot of these will also be quite similar to what you can use on the GoPro. But yes, I've been using the Insta360 X5. It's a 360 camera, of course, that is very handy for when I don't want to think about my composition, and at the same time I just want to be seemingly followed around by a camera. I'll explain how that works in a bit. And then the other thing that's been kind of a favorite for me, especially not just when I go outdoors, but actually when I go out shooting professionally, I've been using the Go Ultra. The Go Ultra is just so convenient because you can take it out of the pod and then you can use this as a remote and as a monitor because it's going to show on the screen, while you can mount this on anything magnetic, including the accessories that I will be talking about. So yes, most of the recommendations I'll be making will of course be those that are compatible with these. Now, one great thing about these action cameras is that most of them now come with accessories that will be helpful. For example, the Go Ultra already comes with two accessories, one that lets you clip it onto your hat, and the other one that I've been using quite a lot is this necklace mount. So you get to wear this on your neck, and then you can keep it inside your shirt. And it's there, you don't even see it, but that is going to be where you can put the camera. And yes, the back of this camera is magnetic, so you can have it like that. And I don't know if you're seeing it, but yes, it's right there. And then if you want to go vertical, you can just turn it like that and it's going to shoot vertical. And then you can keep this in your pocket. And you can also use the button right here to start recording. So pretty straightforward, right? Pretty straightforward on how you can record your POV. And no matter what kind of photography you're doing, or no matter what activity you're doing, then you can use this. However, there are two limitations to this. Number one is not all action cameras have magnetic mounting. And the second one is that you're quite limited when it comes to the angles. So this next one is what you can use. So this is an action camera mount from the brand Telesin, and what you can do is of course wear it like this on your neck. Pretty much similar than what you can do on the little white thing that I showed you already. Now the difference is that this has a screw thread, and you're either gonna have to use action cameras with a screw thread just like the Insta360 X5, or use an adapter with the Go Ultra or whatever else you are using. Now it's pretty much the same, but the difference is that this is much more rigid and you can kind of mold the necklace to, I don't know, the curvature of your neck and of your chest. Now remember, the goal for this is for you to show your POV. So one way that you can mount your camera would be something like that. And remember, this is a 360 camera, so you can technically just reframe the footage as you go. And even if it is kind of awkward, it can work like that because you have a 360-degree view and you're not showing your face, so don't mind that you're pretty close. And another good thing about that is if you're using the microphone of the camera, then technically the camera is very close, so you're gonna get really good audio. Now, one big benefit of using this over this would be the compatibility with this, or, well, not just compatibility, it was made with this. So basically, these go on the loops on the side of the mount, and what that's going to do is keep it closer to your chest and stabilize the entire camera setup. That means that if you're doing a bit of running, climbing, or anything extreme, it's going to keep it closer, and that also means your footage is going to be more stable, and of course the camera is also going to be safer. Now the thing is, I'm not saying that you should have both a 360 action camera and a POV action camera. Technically, even if this is a dual lens action camera, a 360 action camera, this actually also has a really good single camera mode. And that means you can use it with a single camera. It's going to give you 4K with a really good resolution. The only difference is that you're not capturing the other side and you don't need to reframe. So because of the convenience, I've actually been also using this as a main camera for content whenever I'm shooting outside. And one of the reasons why this is convenient is because back then I would bring another camera, aside from the camera I'm using for my photography, to just record the video. Now this one has an almost 1-inch sensor and can shoot 4K, and you know what, the biggest thing about this is that the processor on the Insta360 is actually really good, so that it can help you optimize the footage even if you are in a relatively low light situation. Now the biggest problem I have with 360 cameras is that of course they are fisheye cameras that are protruding, so I want to keep this in a way just a little bit more protected. So this is a camera cage from the brand Telesin as well, and I've been really liking this for, well, a lot of reasons. Number one, it's an added layer of protection. Even if you hit that on, I don't know, tables or even the ground, just as long as it's not the lens that will be getting the impact, then it's going to be protected by the cage. Well, you can't put a cage on the lens because it's a 360 camera and it's gonna get in the way. So the next best thing is protect the edges. Now one really great thing about this is that it actually comes with two cold shoes, one here on top and one here on the side. And it also comes with a screw thread, a 1/4 inch screw thread here at the bottom, and at the same time one here on the side. So if I want to use this horizontally, I can, because it has a screw thread. So if I'm going to use it like a POV camera, then all I really have to do is use the screw thread. So if you're going to be using it as a single camera, then you can have it this way, or you can have it this way, and then just choose which camera you're going to be using. Just don't make the mistake of using the camera that's facing your chest, because it's not going to get anything. Now when it comes to 360 action cameras, well, one thing that you should always have and choose wisely are these. And these are of course poles, or you can call them selfie stick, and they give you the ability to of course position the camera where you want it positioned. Now you can get something like this, which is the standard selfie stick that has the, you know, the standard length of a selfie stick, and that's gonna give you already a lot of options when it comes to angles. But if say you're going somewhere and you want a farther perspective of you, then you can use something like this. And this is an extended selfie stick which goes up to 9 feet. And I use this when I go outdoors and when I go to high places. And what this is able to give me is, it gives me footage that looks like it was shot by a drone. Because of course, when you're using a 360 camera, anything connected to the bottom mount will automatically be made invisible by the processor. So that's one thing that's really helpful. So it's not just going to give you really good POV, it's going to give you amazing perspective that you might not get with any other camera except maybe a drone. Now again, I don't really consider myself as someone who does extreme stuff. But again, I use these things as utility cameras so that they can help me create the content that I want to share and also the perspectives that I want to share. So regardless if I'm using the 360 camera or the POV camera, one thing that I would never leave without would be, of course, a microphone. And the good thing about these is that both the X5 and the Go Ultra actually have USB-C ports, and you can use any USB-C wireless microphone. Now, I personally use the Hollyland Lark M2 because I just like the form factor and the sound. And when you plug that in, that's already going to be compatible. However, if you want the smallest and also the most affordable option with good sound, check out the Hollyland Lark A1. It might probably be one of the most easily compatible, good sounding wireless mics for these cameras. Now, in the context of using these for vlogging and content creation with talking heads and demonstration and whatever, another great accessory that I found handy, especially because I shoot a lot in buildings or on roof decks, is this. This is a magnetic action camera mount, also from the brand Telesin, and it also comes with dual ball heads. Now that's basically just gonna give you multiple angles when it comes to mounting. So one thing I've been doing is I've been using this bottom 1/4 inch thread or even the side 1/4 inch thread right here. And then this is of course going to be able to stick to anything metallic, anything magnetic, and that includes the railings on most of the balconies and roof deck railings that I shoot at. So I can have it like this, or I can have it like this, because again, it's a 360 camera that I can just reframe down the line. And then all I have to do, well, is plug in the microphone and film just like how I would film with my main camera. The difference is I don't have to set up another camera. And this one just mounts on metal, and that's it. And there we go. These are the accessories that I would suggest for using 360 cameras, especially if you're using for content creation as a photographer. Now, if you have any questions, then you can leave them down below in the comment section. And if you have other suggestions, you can also leave them down below, and we will also check that out. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Nicco Valenzuela. I'm a landscape and architectural photographer, and I create content about basically anything photography and the gear that I love using. And if you're into any of that, then click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. In any case, thanks for watching.